Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall, where we throw ideas, see what sticks, and nurture those that do. I'm your host, Armando Leduc, an actor, entrepreneur, and coach, giving you insights that light up your world. We're here to explore the realms of business, marketing, and life, serving up a shot of inspiration with every episode. Ready to make ideas stick and grow them into something great? Let's dive in. What is up, guys? 50 podcasts in 3 days. 50.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Spaghetti on the Wall and the Managing Partners podcast right here at Law-Di-Gras. And Ahmad Sheikh was like, I was like, we need another person to come on and talk about what they do. And come to find out that you guys are just killing it in killing it in New York, Duffy and Duffy Law Firm. I don't know what I can say, like, as far as like revenue wise, that,
I mean, I confidently can say, I always refer to us as $1 billion firm. We have, we are founded almost 25 years ago. So over the lifetime of
it's crazy
practice, we're north of $1 billion.
I mean, that's super impressive. And you guys are handling med mal and nursing home.
Yes.
And based in New York.
So we're primarily, we've cut our teeth in medical malpractice. So the firm has a very good reputation. We would argue that we're the premier law firm in medical malpractice, definitely in New York, and hopefully beyond. I mean, we do some litigation in other states. There are firms that will come in and say, look, we have a very difficult case. Can you take our case and litigate it for us? Mm-hmm. And we do that.
How long have you been with the firm?
I've been north of 5 years.
And so when you started, were you always in legal?
So prior to joining Duffy & Duffy, I was the director of marketing for a small case management software that you may have heard of called Litify.
Right on.
Yeah.
And so you were in that space, the legal space, and you were like, all right, well, let's, how did you get recruited?
So COVID happened, and Litify decided that we needed to focus less on marketing and more on getting our existing clients live. So then when I was introduced to Duffy, I was introduced to a bunch of different firms, and I had a pretty robust Rolodex. But when various opportunities presented itself, Michael Duffy and I came to have a meeting of minds, and that's what we decided. And 5 years has passed pretty quickly.
Yeah. So the biggest problem that you're seeing in the med mal space currently, right? What are some of the big things that you're seeing in 2026 that you guys are moving into, that you guys are going to have to overcome obstacles?
So you sure you have, how long is this podcast going to be? But I'll tell you, first and foremost, you have to understand that medical malpractice is a needle in a haystack. This is not auto. We're 30% conversions. We also have a fee structure that is not generous. Okay. We're not taking a third. We have limitations. We average around 18% when all said and done. So right away, you're not finding young attorneys who want to do medical malpractice. You come to all of these conferences, no one talks about medical malpractice. There's a reason. There's not enough demand from attorneys. This is not what they want to do. They want to do pre-litigation. They want to make a lot of money doing auto accident cases. So there's the business of law, and then there's the practice of law. Our law firm prides itself, we are the practice of law. What I see as a challenge in 2026 with medical malpractice is that there's less and less law firms doing medical malpractice. There are people who do auto accident, they do slip and fall, they do premise, and they also do med mal. I will tell you, you don't also do med mal. You either do med mal or you don't do med mal. And what I have found is that people go to a lot of law firms that build out these gorgeous landing pages, they sign up with them, and eventually they end up with us. Now, we get a lot of referrals. And we get I always joke with people that either you're going to sign with us directly or you're going to be referred to us, or after 3 years, your case is going to be dumped upon, like they leave it right on our doorstep and say, fix it.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, because it's a skill.
It's hard. You're not only an attorney, but you're a doctor. You have to read through the science. We hired this young attorney who came on board very excited, and he quit. And before he quit, I said, "Why are you quitting? Why are you quitting? You have such a great opportunity." He said, "I went to school to be a lawyer, not a doctor. I don't like the fact that I have to Google every other word."
Mm.
It's like it takes too long to understand this medicine. I'm really becoming a doctor, not a lawyer. This is not what I signed up for.
Wouldn't it be advantageous for attorneys that are like looking to, to navigate and go, okay, well, maybe this is sort of a saturated space. Wouldn't it be better to like roll into a med mal space if
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: what's the barrier to entry? So understand that the industry is now getting an influx of capital from hedge funds.
Right.
We know what's going on in Arizona and Utah and DC, where non-attorneys can now manage law firms and own them. That money's not coming into medical malpractice yet, because the turnaround time, our cases average between 6 and 8 years. Think about how long it's going to take for you to flip your money.
Right.
You can't.
It's like mass tort.
There you go. So,
And that's the only
but mass
reason-
tort, you're doing it on scale.
Sure.
You're doing this on scale, not in medical malpractice. You're going to review upwards of 180, maybe 200 leads before you're going to take one. Think of your ROI on that.
I mean, so how do you take 200 cases, right? Because you're like, not every case is going to be one that you could probably fight, or
I mean, reality is, it's like a marketing funnel. Out of the 200 leads that we're going to get, a lot of them you're able to disqualify due to SOL issues or
what is SOL?
Sorry,
Is it-
statute of limitations.
okay,
So,
I thought it was shit out of luck.
In that case, if you pass this in the statute of limitations, you are SOL.
Oh yeah, that's the SOL case.
So you're disqualifying people on that. You're disqualifying people if it's a known risk on the procedure. Sometimes, I will give you a personal example. I listen to a lot of calls. When I first started with the firm, I heard a call of a woman who went for a hysterectomy and they perforated her bladder, right? And now she had a bag. The bag gets infected, right? And she was a 1099. She took a week off. A week later, she was supposed to be back into work, but she wasn't. She had the bag. The bag got infected. She didn't go to work for 3 weeks. She was laid off. I thought this is an easy case, but after some analysis, we determined it was not a case for us. But the reasons were that this was a known risk of surgery. So we get a lot of cases that come in that, as a layman, you would imagine, that someone's going to make a lot of money because but no, it's very, very fine. It's really the devil's in the details.
Yeah. So, wow. So I guess you would have to have the infrastructure in order to do med mal, right? Like you can't just.
You need a machine.
Yeah.
You need a machine. And
which is why you guys are probably getting all the referrals.
Yes. So we have a machine. We have a mixture. We have three generations of attorneys, right? We have attorneys who are in their 70s, late 60s, 70s. We have attorneys who are in their late 40s and 50s. And then we have the younger generation who are in their 20s. And we pass the baton. We have a very large pre-lit team. We have paralegals. We have some outsourced resources. We've done a heavy investment in technology, all to move the cases forward. I pride myself on the fact that I work for a firm that is able to move cases quicker than most of our competitors.
And so you guys are just going to stay in the New York market?
No, I would say if I had my opportunity coming to all these conferences, I would love for us to be a 50-state firm. Maybe not 50 states. Who wants to go work in Texas? But I will say this.
That's good.
That would require a lot of investment in infrastructure to make sure that we can handle it.
Yeah.
Truthfully, we have national advertising partners who dump a lot of money in New York, and they give us all their cases. In theory, we could go to them and say, hey, we're now in this state, we're now in this state, we're now in this state, and we will get cases almost overnight.
Wow.
But we have to make sure the infrastructure is there.
Totally.
If you can, they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, So if you can make it in New York, you can make it somewhere else, especially if the fee structure is more generous.
Yeah. So how do people, is that the next step? Do you think in the next years?
I would say in 5 years, I would expect that we would be in an additional state.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
That's awesome.
we're very meticulous in how we do things. Maybe it's the nature of the work that we do, where it's it's like line by line, examining medical records. That every step that we do is it's very meticulously planned,
Right.
and we don't just jump. We're not just jumping in the deep end.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. How do people find you?
So you can visit us on DuffyDuffyLaw.com. We have a pretty robust social media on Instagram, Duffy Duffy Law, TikTok, Duffy Duffy Law. So Duffy Duffy Law.
Ahmad,
I appreciate it.
Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Gary. Keep watching, keep listening. Spaghetti on the Wall and Managing Partners podcast. We are signing out. Much appreciated. We rocked and we rolled. We'll see y'all later.